New York energy. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
This is the Ozone, season 2, we taking flight. New York on lock, every borough ignite. Giants, Jets, Knicks, Yanks, Mets, we the hype. Malik, Sauce, Jalen, Judge, Lindo, NY Life. MetLife thunder when malignant bars break the rail. Giants running routes, ops fall, we prevail. Sauce Gardner locked down, jet fuel in his stance. MetLife heat beam, Jets defenders advance. MSG vibrate when Jalen Brunson start to cook. Knicks light the garden, ops shook when he looked. Pinstripes roll, Aaron Judge send rockets over Bronx. Bombs drop, Yankees prime, real talk, no cons. City feel glow, Lindo make that leather sing. Met bats knock, Queens dreams gon' always ring. From the bridges to the streets, uptown blackout. Season 2, Ozone, NY Heat, no doubt. This is the Ozone, Season 2. New York, forever drills. Catch the vibe.
You have entered the Ozone with Omar and Dave.
Let's go, baby. We are here. And it's the Season 2, numero dos. Yo, I'm feeling great. I had a great summer break. But it's time. It's NFL season, baby. And here at the Ozone Season 2, we're ready. You saw it. New intro. We're going to have the whole new show looking new. New segments, new picks, new bets. But you know who's not new? The best co-host in the business. Super producer Dave. Brother, it's a new week. It's been a few weeks. How are we feeling?
Brother, I went to go get myself a little tan in the pool. I've been enjoying my summer. We have a new champ, Chimaev. That camp, let's just put it like this. When it comes to UFC, and we will be covering UFC more into the season as we go along, when you face the Khabib camp and those people, it's just know what you're getting yourself into. You already know it's a wrestling match. You lost. If you can't beat the wrestling, you lost. Brother, but we got other stuff to talk about. I'm excited. The football season's here. We've both got our team jerseys on. You know what? Is this the best time of the year, I think. It really is. It's so much stuff that comes into the end of the year.
Yeah. And you know what? To be honest, brother, this is our first, although this is season 2, this is really our first year covering the NFL from the beginning. When we started the Ozone, obviously, you guys know we started in mid-December. So, the season was already over. Dave and I, our teams were already in the crap already. We were already looking at draft, where we should be in the draft. So it's really exciting that we're able to cover our teams and everything, and it's exciting. But I want to start season 2 off with a bang. Because, brother, I love you, man. You're the best co-host in the business. You're my best friend for more than 15 years. And I want to kick off the show covering your favorite team. And that's the New York Jets, baby. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's get it, y'all. This is the Gang Green Report. All right, y'all. This is the Gang Green Report. This is a new segment, baby, that we got for the New York Jets. Jet fans, I told y'all. Here at the Ozone, we was going to show y'all some love. But I'll say this, though. We are honest. We're going to be very honest when it comes to our New York football teams and everything, as we do everything. Let's cover the New York Jets, guys. Before we get into the New York Jets, let's talk about last season. Last season, brother, was a train wreck, to say the least, when it comes to the Jets. Obviously, high expectations with, Aaron Rodgers. This was going to be his healthiest year with them and all that, and they finished 5-12. Not good. The offense didn't look good. They were ranked 24th in offense and points per game. They were not good. Let's just put it like that. Aaron Rodgers was pretty much a letdown. You definitely had a slow season from Breece Hall, where, Jet fans were going to be, we're excited going into the season with the possibilities of what Breece Hall is going to do based off what he did the season prior to that. Garrett Wilson, obviously Garrett Wilson was Garrett Wilson, you know what I mean? I think he's an elite wide receiver. Obviously, he hasn't been fortunate to play with a quarterback that can just put him into another stratosphere. But brother, there's a new quarterback now. There's a new coach. Let's just put it like that. There's a new coach in town when it comes to the Jets. We discovered that. We did talk about that in the Ozone a few episodes before. But they brought in Justin Fields, brother. Justin Fields. What's the overall feelings on what you be nice?
Okay,
On these
so
Jets.
Justin Fields had a great year in the Steelers. Like if it wasn't for Russell Wilson being on the same team, and obviously we know who gets paid more on that team, so you want to start the person who gets paid more. If it wasn't for Russell Wilson being on that roster for the Steelers, I could have seen Justin Fields finishing out the year and maybe staying with the Steelers. I don't imagine, and I can't really fathom why was it the swap was done where we have Aaron Rodgers starting for the Steelers. I don't see him fitting in that scheme a lot. And then also in Justin Fields' case, like, I just think that was a better fit for him, especially under the coach over there, Coach Tomlin. Justin Fields has potential. The only thing is that he does a lot of bonehead picks, and like on the scramble and like when he has to be creative, Justin Fields can be really fun. But unfortunately, when it comes to like pressure and sacks, that's where he starts to look a little ugly. And I mean, the other day, Jesus Christ. The other day he went 1 for 5 on 4 yards. Like, he didn't do much against the Giants during this preseason. There's a lot of stuff that you just want to question, like, what is the backup plan should Justin Fields goes down? I believe Tyrod Taylor's the backup, so that's another thing.
Yes, he is.
That's another thing to look forward to, but for Jets fans, not me. It's just Justin Fields is a questionable pick, and if there's somebody who needs to reinvent himself, it's definitely him. He had a chance with the Steelers. Unfortunately, Russell Wilson usurped him, and we'll see how that turns out for that offense because they have other good things going for them. They have Garrett Wilson on that team. They also have Breece Hall, who's in a contract here, which we actually just want to switch over to.
Yeah, so I that's a big thing. I think Breece Hall, I think is, you look at how the Jets offense has been run this preseason at least. They want to get more into running the ball. And I think Breece Hall is going to have a bounce back year. I might pick him up in the draft. I think he might be those low risk, high rewards in fantasy. So I am looking at Breece Hall in that part. Because I also think when it comes to Breece Hall, he's going to have a fire up his butt because his backup, Braylon Allen, he's got a lot of upside. I think Allen is going, he's going to be sharing the load, with Breece. And that's going to be a competition. We saw what Cook got in his contract for Buffalo. I think Breece is going to probably want a little higher than that. Or maybe within that range. Do the Jets feel comfortable giving Breece Hall that, knowing he's had some knee issues and that sort of thing? And then, Allen ended the season really well. You know what I mean? So you can tell that the Jets are going to run the ball a lot more. They ranked 24th in points per game last year. You're going to want to see a tick in that. As you touched on, brother, Justin Fields is, he's very hit or miss. He can make some spectacular plays where he looks like Lamar Jackson. And then there's plays where he looks like Daniel Jones. Let's just put it like that. So I think that's going to be interesting. I think Garrett Wilson, is a consistent guy. Like I said, I think he's just more of a product of what's been holding him back is that he hasn't been able to play with such an elite quarterback. Garrett Wilson, I was just reading, is one of those guys that people recommend you stay away from in fantasy draft because you just don't know if the Jets are going to be able to put the ball in the air as much this season. And, right now the Jets did rank 14th in passing yards last season. I think that's going to dip a little bit with Justin Fields. You know what I mean? Pass attempts, they were 5th. So I think that's going to take a dip. You can tell, like I said, they ranked 16th in running last year. And I think you're going to see a switch in that. The way this preseason has been going for the Jets, they're going to be a run deep. They're going to be a run team. They have a good offensive line. And then they're going to hope that the run then eventually helps the passing game with play actions and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you got, Breece Hall, you got him going for, like, he's in a pay me season. He definitely has to show out and why he needs an extension or why other teams should want to sign him after this year. With Braylon Allen right behind him, you understand that You can be replaced, and we all know the running back market is always you're replaceable. That's always the way you're treated, or it's like show me what you got until you can't do it no more, and then we'll just move on from you, like whatever. So Breece Hall definitely has a lot to play for, and I think if with this season he can help alleviate Justin Fields. I'm thinking about other running backs that he's played with. Justin Fields has played for the Bears, and he's played for the Steelers. You played with Najee Harris. You played with Jalen Warren in the Steelers. Then you played with in Chicago, I believe DeAndre Swift was the main running back at the time before he ended up moving. So it's you haven't had a lot of good running back play there to help alleviate the pressure that comes with being a quarterback. So I definitely see Breece Hall being a help there. And then Braylon Allen, and Breece wants to get paid. He wants to establish why he should be paid, like a Williams, like a Cook. He needs to do that for them, and that's the one thing I think Jets fans have to look for. You mentioned as far as like upside or downside with trying to draft in your fantasy with Garrett Wilson. I have him in my league, but he's my third string wide receiver. Unfortunately, and this is just taking off a little bit with the fantasy stuff. My Dynasty League, people were drafting for the future. And I understand that, like, with Dynasty, you definitely want to keep the players that you're going with. But you definitely want to win now as well. And I still see Garrett Wilson with a lot of potential upside with your drafts.
Yeah, he has it. He has it. Maybe the college ties, Fields and Wilson both playing in Ohio State together.
And he's the number one target there. Who else are they throwing to on that team? Like, it's Garrett Wilson and then who? You really trust anybody else in that back? Like, after that, like, it's not that much going on there in the aerial attack that you really have to be concerned of who's getting targets. You already have the established number one target on that team. That's just a fact. If it works out and you get him for a later pick, if we're talking fantasy, I say go for Garrett Wilson. Even I, who hate the Jets, have picked up Garrett Wilson. So trust me, I can see the better days ahead for the Jets with that.
Yeah, and obviously because the Jets' offense, we don't expect them to be, the Philadelphia Eagles or the Kansas City Chiefs in that sort of case. Their defense is going to have to step up a bit. Their defense have progressed in 2024 from having such an elite defense the year prior to that. Their defense, outside of, yards allowed, where they were ranked third, they were in the bottom. They ranked 20th overall. Rushing yards, they were 17th. So, they were middle of the pack as far as, sacks goes and that sort of thing. But, their strong suit, obviously, as we know, is their secondary, led by Sauce Gardner. They ranked 5th in passing yards allowed, 8th in passing yards attempted. So, obviously, we know that part. I think what they're going to have to do is clearly work on their front line. Their middle linebackers, they were 17th in rushing yards allowed. This defense has to be elite to keep the Jets in the game. Very similar to the Giants, and we're going to discuss it, because their offense is not going to – I just don't see the Jets dropping 30 a game. You know what I mean? They're going to have to make it muddy, and, the defense is going to have to help them out in that sense, because if not – I just don't think they can keep up with these elite offenses, especially within the division. We're not even talking about the league in itself. You talk about the division of going against Josh Allen, which is the Bills is probably the top dog in it. Not probably, I think they are the top dog in the division. And then if we all know Miami, if Tua's healthy, their offense is what it is. And then obviously the New England Patriots have made improvements into their offense. So right now, the Jets' defense is going to have to step it up a notch more than they did last year if they want to give themselves a chance in sniffing a successful season.
Yeah, bro. Look, I'll just want to break down some more stuff for the Jets that didn't go right, and it's easier for me to do it because I'm the hater of the Jets, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to improve. So, look. They were 5-12 last year. They were literally 3-9 in daytime games. They were 2-3 and nothing went right for this team. In nighttime games, they were 2-3. When you played on grass, you were 1-5. When you played on turf, you were 4-7. When you went indoors, you lost the only one game you played indoors, and you were 5-11 outdoors. And in overtime, you lost. There's a lot of things that just don't show a lot of things that promise to you, what can my team, if you're a Jets fan, what can they do to improve? But you have a lot of things that did go right for you in the offseason. You picked up a shiny new toy in the quarterback. You have a new coach who's going to definitely bring in defense. That's something that we know that he's going to bring to this team. So it's just finding ways to move on from there.
And accountability.
Yeah.
You look at his press conference. He's not one to shy. He's not Aaron Boone. Let's just put it like that. He is not one to shy away from giving the media sound bites. I think, brother, you're going to be working a lot this year because I think he's going to give us so much to talk about. But you're right. But let's talk about the season, brother, because now, obviously, it's the NFL. This is the early predictions and what we. I'm going to put it like this. And super producer Dave has the Jets schedule up right now. They start off. The Jets season starts off very rough, if you ask me. They got week 1 against the Steelers. That's at home. They got 2 home games, but then it's Steelers and Buffalo. So now you've already got 2 playoff teams, right? Then you have Tampa, another playoff team on the road, and then you have Miami, and then you have Dallas. Their first 5 games are gonna be brutal. And then it doesn't get easier. Then they have Denver, Carolina, okay. Then they have Cincy. Then you have Cleveland. Then you have New England. So that's funny that you don't play the Jets until week 11, which is very interesting. So that's very late in the season, and as well after the bye. But I'm looking at the schedule overall. The Jets finished 5-12 last year, brother. I don't know, man. Let me just do it. You know what? I don't want to be a hater. I really don't. But we're talking about realistic expectations for the Jets. My expectations for the Jets aren't high. Are we going to get bounce back years from Breece? Yes. We talked about it. We know what we're going to get from Wilson. But like you said about Justin Fields, man, he's just too inconsistent. The defense, I don't know what we're going to get from the defense. Is the defense going to improve? 5-12 last year. I think they go 6-11 this year.
You stole my thing because that's exactly where I was looking. I don't think they repeat 5-12, but I think you may improve one game. It's just a lot of things have to go right for the Jets, and they have to show that they can win those fights that are definitely winnable. There are a lot of games that they could win where you just need to make it close. Make your defense, your defense has to be the thing to shut them out because at this moment, you're not relying on your offense to be the thing that puts you over the map. You have to rely on those really close fights and don't lose the games for yourselves. That's the one thing the Jets have to have going for them in this season. And you have some competition that you definitely have to be concerned about. You have Buffalo, of course, which we already. I'm going to make an early prediction. I have Buffalo winning that division this year. So you have to be able to win those other games. Yeah, I'm not going in too much on a limb there, but you have other games that you have to win. You play with the Patriots.
Yeah,
you
got to play
the
the
Dolphins.
games.
Yeah, you got to play the games that you have in front of you, and unfortunately, I just don't see them winning those Bills games. But you have the Patriots and Dolphins on your schedule as well, and those are games that I feel like at this moment are winnable, even against my team. So you have to win.
Yeah,
those
I think
games.
they could split against you guys, and I'm looking at it. I think saying 6 wins, brother, is a lot because I'm looking at the schedule. Okay, I think they get that Carolina game at home. Man, I really think they can start 0-4, bro. Man,
there's a lot of potential too. Tampa looked good last year.
It could be ugly very, very, very early for the Jets.
Miami game is a winnable game. At this moment,
yeah,
we don't know what Miami is at this year.
It's a Monday night game at that too. Against Miami. Yeah,
and you're at Miami, so you don't have to worry about the heat. So that's another thing that also is a big play when you come to play in Miami.
Yeah, it's good to play the Dolphins early in the season. Yes.
In the season and at night, not during the day where that sun is beaming on you on that bench.
Yeah, they set them up crazy though because they got that last game against Buffalo at Buffalo. That's week 18. But noticeable games from the schedule. Obviously, their division. The Jets got a couple. They have a couple national games, with week 4 being Monday Night Football, and week 6 is I believe that's that's NFL Network.
Sunday. That's a Sunday game.
Oh, is that the overseas game?
I believe
Yeah.
so. It's at 9:30.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
yeah. That's
assuming
at
it's
9:30 a.m.
London.
They have a Thursday night game against you guys. That's week 11. So the Jets right
That's in
now,
London.
the Jets right now have a. So it's in London, right, brother? Okay. The Jets have 3 national games. So obviously, Jet fans that live out of the market, get your IPTVs ready because you ain't gonna be saying much of your boys national. But let's pivot, brother. Tamati, the New York Giants, baby. This is the Big Blue Breakdown.
All hail the New York Giants!
All right, y'all. So this is the Big Blue Breakdown. This is where we cover my boys, the New York Football Giants, baby. And just like the Jets, we got to keep it real. The Giants were not good. To say we had a crappy year would be an understatement. We were 3-14. It was not pretty. Daniel Jones gets dropped middle of the year. We got to deal with Tommy Cutlets. It was just not great at all. You look at, we sucked defensively. We were ranked 21st in defense. Offense, we were in the bottom percentile in offense. There's no sugarcoating it. This Giants team was horrific. Just let's put it like this, brother. We were 34th in points, 30th in total yards, 23rd in rushing, 29th in passing. Now the attempts were there. We tried. We ranked 8th, but you know what I mean? We couldn't get points. Defensively, we sucked. 21st, as I mentioned, 24th in yards allowed, 27th in rushing yards allowed. Not bad in the passing, which is surprising because, we're going to talk about the secondary and how I think it's going to be maybe the Giants' weakest part of their team. But there's a lot of optimism, brother, about my Giants because, yes, we got rid of Daniel Jones, but now we got some competency in the quarterback room. Obviously, the Giants bring in 2 veterans, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, to go along with who we had already, Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets, as Giants fans know. And we got possibly, don't want to jump out the window, but possibly a savior. Possibly. For this franchise, rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, who we were able to get, obviously out of Ole Miss. Brother, can I talk as a fan right now? I'm gonna talk as a fan. I am very optimistic about this Giants team. From what I've seen in the preseason, from the defense, what Abdul Carter, Kevon Thibodeau, Sexy Dexy, Burns, we are going to abuse quarterbacks. Now, I know in sacks we weren't that bad. I just touched on how awful we were on defense. But in sacks, we were ranked 9th. We have 45 sacks last season. I could see us definitely improving on that. I could definitely see us averaging maybe 10 to 15 more sacks. The offensive line looks good. They're protecting Russell Wilson so far. This optimism. Malik Neighbors is going to take it up another notch. Tracy ended the season pretty good, where we could feel good about him being a starting running back. But realism is going to set in as well. Because although Giant fans, we are excited, but we can't just forget what we saw from Russell Wilson last year with the Steelers. This is not Russell Wilson that we're going to get from the Seahawks, obviously. But I do think that he's showed already some things that Daniel Jones wasn't able to do, which is throw accurately the deep ball. So I'm good about that. But I want to pump the brakes on the Jackson Dart thing real quick. And I know I'm going all off, but I want to pump the brakes. I know what we've seen in the preseason from Jackson Dart is something where it's like, all right, get him starting week 1. I don't want to see that, brother, to be honest. I don't. I want him to continue to learn, develop, and if that's the case, bringing him along the season, depending on how the season goes, I'm with that. But I want to see Russell Wilson with this core I want to see what we can do with Russell Wilson. Maybe there's still enough juice in in Russell Wilson in the tank to go from there.
Yeah, brother. Like right now, like going into the season, you do have that quarterback battle of who's going to start, and obviously we are both in agreement that Russell Wilson's going to be the starter. But you don't hurt with having Jameis Winston as a backup on your team. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I've said this since last season or the off season when you guys signed Jameis Winston. I'm looking forward to those sound bites. Jameis Winston has a postseason career, not a postseason, but a post career after football. Like that's just going to be amazing to watch. But you guys at least have a serviceable quarterback. He's not going to take you to the promised land, but if you need him in for a game or two, you couldn't do worse as far as the backups that are available in the league. And then I think that with, Cutlets is there because he's there, and I don't know how long he stays on the roster. I can see him being cut before the season starts. Or
I can't see them carrying 4 quarterbacks, you're right.
I don't see why would you need that space for that. And you drafted Jackson Dart, and if you're asking my opinion when it comes to the quarterback stuff, I say just don't bring him in until you see, what else do you have to lose? The season's a wash, and you just want to see what you got from the guy in an NFL game. So I think you just start the season with Russell Wilson. As far as your defense goes, you do have that big front four, Lawrence, Burns, Thibodeau, and Carter, which I told you when going into the draft, I wanted Carter more than I wanted Campbell. But, God, you guys have so much potential with that front four. It's just, do they make up for the secondary? And as you may have also mentioned to me, the linebackers. The linebackers are a little undersized when it comes to what you want from that position. So,
yeah,
definitely something you want to look at for that team. And the other thing, you did start off with how the season looked last year. You can mention all that, but you also have to bring out the biggest glaring thing. You let go of Daniel Jones, and the reason you let go of Daniel Jones is because you let somebody walk in Saquon Barkley. He went to the Eagles, and not only did he just walk to the enemy team, but he won a Super Bowl with them. He's the cover athlete of Madden. You have to see that guy twice a year now. So there are things that you just want to see improve for this team. I understand that's probably not a Daboll decision why Saquon was let go, but Daboll has to work with that now, and he has to plan for that going into the season, as you guys got to play him twice. So definitely something of concern. I think the defense, at least with your front four, you have a lot of potential there, but definitely you want to address something with that secondary. I don't know if you go make a move for somebody. I don't know if you have any assets that you want to get rid of at this moment, but definitely you guys could use some help back there.
Yeah, and you touched on it. You look at the running backs in the division, and looking at in the preseason with the Giants, once you get past that front line, that defensive line, it's pretty much barbecue chicken for running backs. The Giants look like, I think that's going to be the game plan for this Giants defense, is to against the Giants defense is attack them, run, because the linebacking core, it's a little undersized when you look, but the corners is something it remains to be seen, whether they can improve. Deontay Banks, a first round pick. You would want to see him elevated. You would want to see him elevate his game a bit. What I do want to see, what I have liked in the preseason is Cordell Flott has looked good, in the preseason, and I think that's something that is maybe someone that can light up Banks a little bit, get Banks to step it up a little bit. We got Javon Holland as a free safety, Newbin as a strong safety, so we got to see some improvement, within that, but the D-line is, it's going to hit the quarterback. And when you have, secondaries that they can excel if the defensive line can get to the quarterback quick. You know what I mean? This secondary is not going to be able to hold receivers for 5-6 seconds. You know what I mean? Or even longer than that. You know what I mean? So if the Giants can't apply pressure on the quarterback, it's going to be a long day for us. But I think they'll be able to do that. You know what I mean? And I think it's all in rotation. I think it's going to be very important how the Giants manipulate their defense, how they sub. I think that's going to be a big thing. I want to get to the offense, though, with the Giants really fast. I need to see Wan'Dale Robinson
Step it up. Step it up.
I need him to catch the ball. Let's just put it like that. There was a few plays in the preseason where, Russell Wilson hit him right in his hands. He can be that perfect, obviously I'm not saying he is, but he can be that Julian Edelman for us. He's got the speed, he can play the slot, like he needs to catch the ball. I want to make light of the offensive line. The offensive line did look good for the Giants this preseason. Evan Neal, I know they're still trying to figure out with him, but I want to highlight Marcus Mbao. I don't know how we got this guy in the fifth round. Rookie out of Purdue. This guy, I don't know, brother, if you've been seeing his highlights in preseason, this guy is making grown men look like little boys. And I can easily see him eventually, I think he's going to be rotated within the offensive line, and I can see him starting by the middle of the year. Like, he looks that promising in the offensive line. Obviously, we're going to go as far as Andrew Thomas takes us. Andrew Thomas has always been hurt. You know what I mean? And he's expected to be active for the offseason. He hasn't played in the preseason, but we're going to need Andrew Thomas. He's the anchor of our offensive line. Darius Slayton, he is what he is. I was surprised we brought him back, to be honest. And then you got Hyatt at the wide receiver. He's fast, but he can't run routes. I'm not excited about him. But, the tight ends, I like the tight ends. And obviously, Cam Scatterbolt is going to be a fan favorite for us.
Yeah, I know. He's a little dinged up, I know, with the hamstring issue. But I definitely see a lot of excitement of what could come out of there, especially behind Tyrone Tracy. So definitely something you want to look out for as Giants fans.
Let's get into, obviously we know the Giants defense is going to be their identity. But let's get into their schedule. And just like the Jets, man, their schedule is tough. Their schedule is tough. You want to talk about the first 4 weeks being brutal. It's brutal. They start off at Washington. We know the hype with the Washington Commanders, and then they have Dallas back-to-back road games. But it doesn't get easier because then they have 2 home games after that against the Chiefs and the Chargers. I'm going to be honest. Like I said, I'm going to be realistic. The Giants, obviously, what they finished last season, we talked about it. They finished 3-14. I think the Giants will improve on that record. However, I think the Giants will start off a little slow. I could, what's funny enough, I could see us pulling off a surprise and actually beating Washington. I really could for some reason. I think it's a difference, brother, when you're the hunter and then now you're the hunted. Teams are going to go in with Washington as, what, they're the real deal, Craig Steele. Not this, this is an easy one. But can I see us beating them? Yes. Do I think we will? No. So I think the Giants are going to start off. I do think we might win that Dallas game, though. So I got the Giants 3-14. I got the Giants finishing. I think I have the Giants going because I would say this. There's some winnable games here. I got the Giants going. Let me do my math. Hold on, the Giants 3-14 because it's 17 games. I got us going 6-11 this year. I think we get 6. I think we get 6 games.
So it sucks because I'm literally repeating you again. I see 6-11, but I do see you starting. I see you guys starting off the year 1-3 against in September. So I got you guys losing against Washington, Dallas, KC, and then winning that game against the Chargers. So it definitely feels like the way I look at it, it could be a rough start to begin, but you guys have potential to win some games here. The Saints aren't the Saints of old, so you can see you guys winning that. Denver's winnable. I don't think that Knicks is that great at this moment. Other games that you could win, Chicago, you can win Minnesota.
I think San Francisco's a winnable game at home. I think that San Francisco's a winnable game at home.
You are playing them home. You're not on the road, so that is a winnable game. And then also the Vegas game. You guys play the Raiders towards the end of the year, so you got some winnable games there. I just don't see. You guys aren't winning the division. That's not another crazy prediction.
No. You gotta be
but
real.
You guys you guys definitely have a lot of potential of seeing better days ahead. It's just more so of Where do you guys end up at the end of the year with the draft position? Because that's where you need to improve a little bit more. You can't rely on always getting that, that hit off in the off season, because right now New York is not a sexy team to go to at this moment. You have other teams that free agent will want to sign to. So you definitely want to hit on your draft picks, and that's where you kind of think about, like, where do they end up at the end of the year? Obviously, you want to win games. You want to improve. You want to show that Dable deserves to stay. So definitely you want to see improvement besides, 3-14 last year? Yeah, you definitely want to see that improve.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the segment, there's a lot of optimism, and rightfully so. But we also got to be real with ourselves, Giant fans, that this is still rebuild. This is still, this is not a playoff push year, I think. I think maybe next year, possibly, but not this year. I think this year you want to see what, and the good thing is you got guys locked. You know what I mean? Burns is extended. This team is gonna be what it is. I think you would need a train wreck of a season, and I mean really bad. If you're talking about Shane and Dable being gone, I think because you got Jackson Dart looking so good this preseason, I think they're going to be given another. They're going to be given another shot to work with him, regardless of what the record is going to be. But obviously, Giant. I think it's going to be a fun year. I think. Like I said, I don't think we make the playoffs. I got us winning 6 games, but I think we're just more competitive, and that wasn't the case last year. I think we're a lot more competitive, and I think with Russell Wilson, I think we might be able to sneak some in.
So my only concern for this team is, like, we're going to be realist as well. Dable and Shane are on the hot seat. At this moment, it doesn't matter. Like, I think with Mara, because he's breathing down their neck at this moment, I think that's something that definitely has to be taken into consideration. It could be the last year that we see those two together. So definitely you want to see improvement that at least keeps your owner off your back, because we already see it with owners across different sport leagues, and if they don't see the improvement that they want to see, they don't care what you think you have planned or what's the plan in motion. They just want to see results. And at the end of the day, if you're not winning games, I can see Dable and Shane out, or one or the other, So definitely something to keep an eye out as well. You guys want to see improvement, because if you really want to keep Dable, you got to show. The team has to show, like, why they should keep him.
So overall, we got both New York teams finishing 6-11. All right,
yeah,
that's fair. But guys, as we touched on in the beginning of the show, we got new segments, and this one I think is probably going to be the most spiciest one. This one is going to, I think, it's definitely going to be my most favorite segment. And this is NFL Picks of the Week. All right, y'all, this is NFL Picks of the Week. And this segment, guys, yes, I think the segment is self-explanatory. It's Picks of the Week. Dave and I will be picking who we think will win every game throughout the NFL season. And yes, we got a bet. What are we doing? We doing 10 subs again? I would love to do 10 subs. I would love.
Yeah, let's do a 10 sub. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let's make it. Let's just up the ante, because it's a whole season, right?
All right.
10 sub and a case of beers.
All right. Sounds good. All right. But we're also, while we're making these picks, guys, we're also going to be discussing the landscape of the NFL. So we are aware that, hey, super producer Dave is not a fan of neither NFL, neither New York teams. So we will be discussing teams. Now, let us be honest, Dave and I will brush through some whack-ass games, but we will highlight and we will get into more in depth with some of the big games. Like right now, brother, let's start off with week one, the first game, the opening day for the NFL, which is the Dallas Cowboys, which I can't stand, versus the Philadelphia Eagles, which I can't stand. Thursday night football, obviously the champs always open up the season. Brother, then I feel like I should have something to write this down of who we're going for, so then we got to keep track of the bets here. But let me just make a quick.
I got you, bro. How about this? I'll make it right now while you're making your prediction, and I'll send you the invite. Don't worry.
All right, cool. We'll do that. Yeah, there we go. This is why super producer Dave is the guy. Dallas and Eagles, I'm going to be honest. I got the Eagles in this game. The Eagles are a far more superior team. The Dallas Cowboys already are going through their crap. Michael Parsons wants out. I don't think they've improved their team much. Although they did bring in, what's his name from the Steelers, the wide receiver. I forgot his name already.
Oh, Pickens.
Pickens. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb, I think, is going to have a bounce back year. But I don't. This Dallas team, to me, I think is very overrated. I don't think they're going to be as good. That's why I feel like the Giants are going to be able to get them early. But I think the Eagles are going to show out. The Eagles, obviously, they've kept their main core offensively. Saquon had a phenomenal season last year. So the Eagles are the king of the division. I do think they're better than the Washington. I know some might argue that, but I got the Eagles here, and I don't even think the game will be close, brother.
Yeah, in this game, I'm looking at the moves that they made, and one of my biggest concerns for the Cowboys has been who's going to be running the ball for them. So they got Javonte Williams. They also got, what's this guy's name? I just had Miles Sanders. I don't see a lot of promise there with your running back room. Right there, I think it's the passing offense. That's Cowboys' biggest thing, especially with questions on your defense. So you need the offense to be clicking. I think you need to be seeing Lamb get the ball, Pickens get the ball, their tight end. I can't remember his name off the top. I think it's Ferguson. But you definitely need to see that offense take off, just because you have questions right now. At this moment, we don't know if Micah Parsons has been moved or not, and maybe things change from here to then.
I think he'll be on the team.
Yeah, I think he'll be on the team. Now, does he play? I don't know. That's the other part. So you definitely, you'd want to see the offense for the Cowboys improve if you're not a Giants fan or someone who hates the Cowboys. But if you're fantasy wise thinking, then yes, you want to see that offense improve. But at the end of the day, the champs are going to win this game. You still have everything intact. You have AJ Brown still there. You still have what's the other guy's name? The receiver. Devontae Smith. You still have Goddard there. You still have Saquon Barkley. Everything is
their
intact.
Offense is going to be
to repeat.
I know defense. They've lost a few pieces on the defense, but their offense is so good that I think they're still the cream of the crop when it comes to the NFC. I hate both teams. I hate the Eagles a little less than Dallas. They're getting there, though, obviously, with Saquon. And it's funny because I still love Saquon, man. Saquon's one of those guys that's you can't hate him. You know what I mean? He's just still respectful. It really pains me to see Saquon, in that jersey.
In those colors? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got breaking news, baby. As it was announced 4 days ago that Micah Parsons, the superstar linebacker from the Dallas Cowboys, was traded to Green Bay, Wisconsin, to the Green Bay Packers for a 2026-2027 first-round pick. And some player, we don't care. But Micah Parsons has been traded to the Green Bay Packers. He also signed a 4-year, $188 million extension. Let's just put it like this. Ozone fans, Giant fans, we are more than happy to see Micah Parsons pack his bags and head to Green Bay. We don't have to see that superstar talent twice a year, killing us, destroying our quarterbacks. Good luck to you, Micah Parsons, in Green Bay. And Jerry Jones, thank you for being the worst owner in NFL history. Now let's get back to the show.
But let's move on, brother, because this is a new thing this year. I don't think NFL's ever done this before. Let's get to the Friday matchup. They have a Friday game. The NFL's eventually, man, going to be, I think, every damn day. I really do think they're slowly creeping that way. Because this one is Friday Night Football, and this is actually on YouTube. So this is going to be kind of cool. You got the Kansas City Chiefs, the AFC champions, at the Chargers. And, brother, this is going to be my first swing. I know you mentioned about the Chargers, the Giants beating the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to be elite this year. I'm picking the Chargers in this game.
Okay.
This is the second year with Harbaugh there. Their offense looks good. The Chargers, we obviously know how good their defense was last year. They was number one in points allowed. This team is good. This team is being slept on. I still think Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback. I know some have their reservations when it comes to him. But I think this Chargers team is being very slept on. I don't think KC made the necessary moves that they needed to make in the offseason, like improving the offensive line. I got the Chargers in this one. I think and it's at home. I got the Chargers surprising everyone by having KC start 0-1.
All right, so I got the Chiefs winning this game, and something to note as well that we didn't mention. Not only is it on YouTube, this game is being played in Brazil, and the halftime.
Okay. So this is not in LA. Okay.
No, this is not in LA.
Chargers.
No,
got the Chargers.
And this is also being halftime show with Karol G. So I will be looking forward to that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So with this game, the Chargers, I love Justin Herbert. I really do. Like when it comes to quarterbacks I really like in the league, Justin Herbert's one of those guys that I just like. I wish he was on my team. Obviously, we got Drake May on the Patriots, but I do like Justin Herbert. They made some. They brought back Keenan Allen. They brought back. Well, they didn't bring anybody else that I'm thinking off the top of my head, but they also have Lad McConkey.
Right? Do they have Najee Harris?
They have Najee Harris. They have Lad McConkey, who's going to be a stud.
He's going to be a stud. I think he might be on my fantasy team by the time this episode airs.
He's on one of my teams, so he's actually in the league that I have like the best receivers. I have CeeDee Lamb, Lad McConkey, and Garrett Wilson. So there's a lot of potential on that team for me. But yeah, Lad McConkey. The Chargers have a lot of promise, but it's the Chiefs, and the thing is about that team is just they find ways to win, and there's a lot of mental mistakes that could be done. This isn't being played at home. You're on neutral turf. Like at the end of the day, this is neutral turf. There may be a little bit more popularity for the Chiefs just because people may recognize that team more since they've won a few Super Bowls already. But they're the standard at this point. Like when it comes to franchises that are just like the dynasty, that's the Chiefs, and I think that they're going to win this game.
Yeah. All right. So that's our first one that we got. I think this one. I think we might. I don't know. This game. I think. This game, the next game we're going to talk about, which is now we're getting into the Sundays games, guys. Week 1. This is going to be a good game. I think we got Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Michael Penix is going to be the starter, the full season for Michael Penix. But I like Tampa. Tampa are the division winners last year. It went down through the wire. Atlanta, look, I know Atlanta has, Drake London, Bijan, they got an elite offense. But I like Tampa. I like Baker's been consistent. I like Bucky Irving. I like, their wide receiver core is up there. Their defense has always been good. Obviously with Todd Bowles there. I like Tampa. I like Tampa in this matchup. I'm going Bucks.
Real quick, I just wanted to check something. All right, so Godwin is somebody that I definitely want to keep my eye on because I know he has injury issues right now at the moment. So that's the thing.
Is he going to be ready for the season?
That's what I was just trying to see if it. Yeah, okay. That's what I was just trying to check. But I don't know if he's going to be fully ready to go day one. They do have other players on that team that did show promise last year. I believe Millen is the other receiver,
the wide receiver.
Yeah, so he's somebody that he's someone that Michael Evans is praising, and Michael Evans is the standard of receivers when it comes to
Michael
consistency.
Evans, you can never go wrong picking him in fantasy, bro.
Yeah, when it comes to fantasy, if he's on the board, please pick him up. You can't make a mistake there.
Well, we got our draft. We got our draft tonight. My draft is tonight. So people that don't know, I am a champ. You know what I mean? And Dave's the assistant GM. I would say you are the main GM. But, it's a two-man team, but we are champs in my league. We're not the defending champs anymore, but we are champions. But,
yeah, so definitely in this game, I'm going to lean Bucks, but I do see at least Falcons making it close.
Yeah. And as we said, guys, we're going to breeze through some of these matchups. The next game is Cincinnati-Cleveland. Obviously, Cincinnati, their offense was just elite. The defense is not elite. But the Browns aren't good. So I got Bengals in this one, brother. Who do you got?
Yeah, I got Bengals winning this one. Cleveland has a lot of stuff going on. There's still a quarterback battle going on over there as far as who should start. Obviously, I think if that team, the Flacco should be the one who's starting the game. But there's a little spiciness in that team between Shedeur Sanders and that other kid, Gabriel.
Yeah, he kind of threw him under the bus when he was interviewed during the preseason.
Yeah. So and it's just
Kinda
been like
threw him
that, I
under the
believe,
bus.
since day one. That guy's had a chip on his shoulder ever since. Shador, I can see like he's been humbled a little bit because of where his drafting, where he landed during the
But
draft.
he did look good. He
But
did look good in his preseason.
He's been looking good this
against Carolina.
preseason. So I definitely see, that's a battle that I'm interested going forward because I don't know how those guys end up coexisting on that team. The Browns have a lot of issues. They still got to pay Watson. They got rid of Nick Chubb. This guy just had legal issues for a rookie. What's his name? Judkins. There's a lot of things that are going wrong for the Browns, and that's another team that just seems to be in purgatory. I got the Bengals winning. Jamar Chase, I got him in my dynasty, the other one, and I can't wait to see him go off.
Yeah, let's see. Next matchup, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts quarterback situation looked so promising when they drafted Anthony Richardson, but he just hasn't been consistent with his thing on the field or just playing well. And then, it looks like Daniel Jones could start for them. And we all know as Giant fans in New York, we all know what that could be. So I got Miami. I think, obviously, without question, when Tua's healthy, the Miami offense is good, and they win games. Now, you might have your reservation, Jet fans, you, brother, as a Patriot fan, about the Dolphins. But when they are healthy, they are a good offensive team, and they're a good, decent team. So I got Miami. I don't even want to get into this game that much. I got Miami. Who you got?
This game I got Miami. The one thing to look out for at this current standing is A-Chain if he's going to be ready for week 1.
Yeah.
He did get dinged up during the preseason, so that's something to just keep an eye out on. Indianapolis just doesn't have a lot going on for them. I see, Jonathan Taylor is somebody, if you're looking in drafts, like he's somebody who's still worth picking up. But behind this team, like, the rest of the people I'm just not excited about. There's somebody I keep drafting every year, this wide receiver. I can't remember. Michael Pittman. And he's a disappointment to me every year. And he's my Kyle Pitts. He's somebody that I keep going to, and he just lets me down.
Last year was a letdown. 2 years ago, I had him on my team when we won the whole thing.
Yeah,
he was okay. He was good.
He's
definitely
okay,
a wide receiver 3. He's definitely
he's definitely not somebody you should be relying on as your wide receiver 2. So
100%.
I got Miami win this one.
Got Miami. So all right, so we're locked in on a few of these games. I think we're going to differ here because we got the Las Vegas Raiders against the New England Patriots at New England. Brother, this is no shade to your team. I just think the Raiders are going to win this game. Obviously, they made some big moves with getting Geno Smith, a competent quarterback who the Raiders haven't had in a few years. Obviously, Pete Carroll being on the team. Man, who's the running back that they drafted? I love
Ashton Johnson.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be really good. He's already shown signs in the preseason. And obviously their defense led by Max and Crosby. I got the Raiders winning this game against your boys, bro.
Yeah, I got my Patriots winning this one. And it's not just because it's the home team. I see like there's a lot of stuff going right for this team, especially during the preseason. You got Vrabel, who just came in as a coach. And yes, I was upset about Vrabel being picked just because of the way the Mayo was done. I'm a big Mayo fan from even his playing days, so I was just
Me too. I love Mayo on my tender sandwiches and all that.
So I definitely when it comes to Vrabel, like I am looking forward to what he brings because we already know that one, he was the hottest coach available on in the league, and also like we've seen what he's done with the Titans team, and I think he was let go unfairly when he was there as well. We bring back Josh McDaniels as our offensive coordinator. Drake May has shown a lot of potential as a quarterback last year. Now we gave him a new piece with Stephon Diggs. We gave him a new lineman with Will Campbell. We bring back some veterans as well there. In our running back room, we have Travion Henderson, who's lighting it up in the preseason with running the ball. I do see Stevenson maybe just taking a backseat at the end, like towards the middle of the season, because Henderson is just showing like he deserves the ball. Antonio Gibson's there, but I could care less about him. When it comes to our wide receiver room, we brought in Diggs this year, and he's been looking really good this year during preseason, and I believe that he at least gives us a number one target. I would like the Patriots to still make a move for McLaurin if they can make that move, but if they can't,
I wouldn't mind that.
because it just gives you like a lot of options for Drake May. Because everybody else behind Stephon Diggs is more questionable. Demario Douglas, I like you, but it doesn't mean that you're great.
Yeah, he was a letdown for me, man. I had him on my fantasy team last year, and it's just...
Pop is somebody who he's a fan favorite, but he isn't somebody who's going to light it up for you. Jalen Polk from last year, like he kept dropping the ball, so you got to improve. Javon Baker, you had a lot of like clips that made people want to see you play, and you didn't do nothing. But apparently Vrabel wants to give him a good start. And then we also have a guy, Chisholm, who's undrafted, who's just looking really good this preseason. He's making a name for himself to make the roster. So I would love to see that, by the time this season starts, that he's on the roster and he has at least a chance to show what he's got. Then on defense, we did make some improvements as well. We picked up Milton Williams. We picked up Harold Landry, Carlton Davis. There's a lot of things that go there. We also picked up Mac Hollins, but I don't like him. Until you show me touchdowns, I don't care about you and you're walking barefoot. But all this to say is when it comes to this matchup against the Raiders did make a lot of improvements as far as getting a Geno Smith. They have Brock Bowers there. They have Chauncey. They have... you have a lot of things going right for the Raiders, and you still have a veteran with our old guy, wide receiver, Jacoby Myers. There's a lot of potential for the Raiders, but I got us winning that game. It's going to be a close one, though. I don't see that game being more than a 20-point game either side.
All right, y'all. The next game we got is the Arizona Cardinals versus New Orleans Saints. I'm going to be honest. This is one of those games where I'm not even going to be watching it. It'll be red zone. Just based off paper, I got Arizona, brother. Who do you got?
For this game, I got, the Cardinals. I don't see the Saints doing anything yet. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't go right for that team right now.
Yeah, and then the next one we have the Carolina Panthers at Jacksonville Jaguars. This is another snoozer. I'm going Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville. I think if you want to watch it for Travis Hunter, I think my boy has the bounce backs here, Trevor Lawrence. So I got Jacksonville in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I got Jacksonville going on this one. Carolina, they did make some pickups this offseason to make them look a little bit better, and Bryce did look good at the end of the year. He redeemed himself, but I definitely got Jacksonville winning this game. They got all the things right for them. They have Lawrence, they have Brian Thomas, they also have this guy you just mentioned, what's his name again? The rookie. Travis Hunter. Yeah, Travis Hunter. There's a lot going there, the running backs and stuff. So Jacksonville this one.
Yeah, and they got the wide receiver core is good. Let's move on. We got Tennessee and Denver. This game I fought between. I was really high on Denver, but as we started recording this episode, the more you started talking about Denver, the more I'm like, was that an anomaly? Are we gonna get more Bo Nix? I like Cam Ward a lot, and I'm going Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee to shock it. I got the Titans.
All right, so this is where we break again. So this one, I do got the Broncos winning. I do see Cam Ward looking good in this game, but I just got Denver winning this game. I think Sean Payton's going to find a way to get everything going for his team. And Sutton, I see him and Bo Nix connecting a little bit more, and I hope so because I got him in fantasy.
Yeah, I would love to get Sutton. I had him last year. San Francisco, now we got a division matchup. San Francisco and the Seahawks. I'm not high on San Francisco. I know McCaffrey's healthy this season. Ayuk is going to be available this year. He's healthy, right? Is Ayuk starting the season?
No, he's not starting until like week 6. Yeah.
Oh, brother. I know they got rid of Debo. Anyway, I had Seattle. I got Seattle winning this. I think Seattle. I think Seattle is going to win this division, to be honest. So I got Seattle.
Yeah. I got Seattle as well. They got Sam Darnold. They got Cooper Kupp. There's a lot of things going right for that team as far as like two people that you can definitely look at as far as like handicapping together in fantasy. I got Seattle winning this one. 49ers have a lot to improve on. Ricky Parcell is somebody that I'm looking forward to seeing improve. But Jawan Jennings doesn't speak anything to me as far as a number one receiver in this league. And Ayuk they paid the wrong guy. They paid the wrong guy in that team. So they definitely got a lot going for them that needs to improve.
Yep. Now let's get into some heavy hitters because we got some big ones. The 4:30 game, 4:25 game, Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. This game, Jordan Love, obviously I know he had ligaments in his hand or whatever, but he is ready to play. This is gonna be a doozy. I'm fighting back and forth, but I like Detroit. I think the Lions. I think the Lions are going to be the team that's going to be able to challenge the Eagles the most. I think they were just a product of a lot of injuries. Why did they make the Super Bowl last year? But I know Green Bay is also going to be a really good team. You know what I mean? They've made some improvements, especially in the wide receiving core there, and they're a good team as well. You know what I mean? They're nothing to sneeze about. But I'm going with Detroit Lions on this one. I think this is the Lions' year.
The Lions, to me, as far as the NFC goes, they're the sexy pick when it comes to a lot of things. They have a lot of things going for them. They have, you have the resurgence of this guy, quarterback. What's his name again? Jesus Christ, I keep forgetting people's names. Jared Goff is amazing. And then you have Javonte Williams, Jameson Williams on the wide receiver. You have Amon St. Brown, who I joke around with my wife all the time, but I'm like, I want to name my kid Amon Ra. Sun God. But he's amazing. They have a lot of other stuff going on. Laporta. They have Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. They have a lot of stuff going for that team. And then the defense just needs to improve. And also the coach. The coach you get there because of all the questionable decisions you made, or at least like the go for it or whatever.
He's definitely an aggressive coach, yes.
He's an aggressive coach, but sometimes you just have to rein that in, because there were some games that it's just like you could have done something differently that could have got your team there. So definitely don't want to be at fault for losing games because of your bonehead decisions. But I do like the Lions in this one. Packers is something to look out for, but I do not see them winning this game.
Yep. Let's move on to the Texans and the Rams. Now, these are two teams. Texans just obviously, man, this is what I said about the Commanders in the Giants segment. It's different when you surprise teams and then when teams are now scouting you. And I think Washington's going to be entering that territory where Houston was last year, where C.J. Stroud, phenomenal rookie season, and then last year they were hunted. Now, I do know they had a lot of big injuries last year. Diggs went down. Nico Collins went down for some time. That hurt me personally on my fantasy team. Obviously, did they let go Joe Mixon?
He's hurt.
Year? He's hurt. But they did bring in, and this is they did bring in Chubbs.
That's my guy. Nick Chubb is my guy.
We don't know. Chubbs is coming off a serious injury. He did close out the year with Cleveland, but we don't know what we're going to get from him a full season. They're lucky because they're a product of a very weak division, so I think Houston eventually wins that division. And I got Houston in this game solely because I don't know, as of this recording, we don't know how Matthew Stafford's back is. He's been having back issues in the preseason. But the Rams is a very good team. The Rams was by far the closest to of a threat from the Eagles last year in the playoffs. But because I don't know the health status of Stafford, I'm going to go with the Houston Texans on this one.
I'm going to side with you on this as well. I'm going to go with Texans winning this. The Rams do have a lot of stuff that you want to look for. They just paid Kyron Williams. They got Puka Nacua. They brought in Devontae Adams. There's a lot of stuff that goes right. The only thing is that if Stafford's not playing, then you're playing Garoppolo. And Garoppolo, unfortunately, he is a Patriot fan. Like, he just wasn't it. He's competent, but he's gotten his team to a Super Bowl, so we can say that, right? But was that more a product of the coach than it was him? Like, that's one of those questions that you have for Garoppolo, because ever since then he hasn't done much. So maybe you benefit from having him as a backup, but you don't like him going forward for the season as far as that Rams team. I believe Stafford's the better option, and you want to see him out there. When it comes to the Texans, I feel the same way about Stroud. I think he talks so much like Micah Parsons, and he definitely can put shoot himself in the mouth like with the stuff that he says. So definitely, I got them winning this one, but it's only because Stafford at this moment is not cleared. We'll see if anything going forward. Yeah. I could change my mind after, but as of now, I'll pick the Texans.
All right, and let's go to the Sunday Night Football, wrapping up the Sunday games. This is my AFC Championship preview game. Baltimore Ravens at Buffalo. Man, he talk about a banger of a game. Man, these two teams are so good. Um, I'm right now just talking about it, brother. I was leaning towards one way, and now I was leaning towards Baltimore. And I'm gonna stay with Baltimore. I think Baltimore finds a way to win this game. It's week 1. Not saying that I would go with them in the playoffs, but week 1, I'm gonna go with Baltimore. They Lamar always shows out week 1. Obviously, did they beat the Chiefs last year, or they were like a toe line away from beating the Chiefs in week 1 last year. So I think they do. I think they do get it against Buffalo. I know Buffalo's a great home team. You want to talk about home advantage, Buffalo is that. But I do think Baltimore gets a way to squeak it out.
Okay, so this is where we differ again. I'm going to go with the Bills in this one. Josh Allen's he's a beast. He is a manimal. There's so many different ways that you could say about Josh Allen, but he is amazing as far as quarterback talent and what he can bring to the table. Derrick Henry for the Ravens King Henry is just shows that age does not matter to him at all. I think the Ravens picked up DeAndre Hopkins, so that's something to keep an eye out. As far as just a veteran presence in that locker room. Lamar Jackson, we already know what we're getting from him, and he's amazing as well.
Bateman, they
have a lot going for them. But
offense is loaded. That you know what I mean. The tight ends, they're locked in. Their offense is loaded. You know what I mean.
But with Khalil Shakir on that team and the Bills, I like the Bills in this one.
I need to see him elevate. He needs to. I thought he was. I thought he was a letdown this year.
Yeah, he definitely had especially with fantasy, he had wide receiver 2 potential, but he just he definitely needs to show out a little bit more. But I do like the Bills in this one, and it's only because of the Josh Allen difference. They're bringing back Cooks as well. They re-signed him, so that helps as well. And then the Bills defense, I just have more confidence in the Bills defense than I do in the Ravens defense.
All right, we're gonna so that's a good one. I think everybody's gonna be watching this one. Then we got the Monday Night Football game wrapping up week 1. We got the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. Obviously, Chicago Bears with a new head coach, bringing in the OC from Detroit. I got Minnesota. I know J.J. McCarthy is going to be starting, so that's going to be something to look forward to. I know Justin Jefferson has been dealing with some injuries. Addison's going to be out the first 3 weeks. So I got the Bears. I got the Bears in this one. I think with the hypeness, Caleb Williams' second year. They're going to be at home. The crowd's going to be pumped. And with Minnesota, I just don't know if Jefferson's going to be available for week 1. What we're going to get from J.J. McCarthy. So I'm going to go with the Bears on this one.
I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. And solely off the J.J. to J.J. connection that could happen in that season. You still have Hawkinson. You still have other guys on that team that can definitely show out on the Vikings. I just don't trust Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is showing that he maybe was a little bit overhyped. I don't care for the other stuff that people want to knock him for.
Especially when you watching Jalen Daniels in Washington. Yeah.
Right. So I don't care for the stuff that people want to knock him for, whether he paints his nails and stuff. That's not what I'm judging him for. I'm judging him more for what you're doing on the field. And Caleb Williams is showing me once again why you were a little bit overhyped. Even in the preseason. So definitely something you want to look out for. They let go of Keenan Allen, so they're going with the Dunze and DJ Moore as their star receivers. I can't judge on the defense because I haven't looked at the Bears defense, but as far as I got the Vikings winning this one, man.
Yeah, so all right, so we got some different ones. Although we got a lot of the same, we got some different ones. So one of us is going to be taking the lead after week 1.
Yeah.
But guys, go. You got something to say, brother?
No, just here.
No. So guys, as you know, we can't wrap up an episode, even in season 2. We keeping this the same. We can't wrap up an episode without sharing you guys the highlight of the week.
He's on fire!
All right, y'all. Highlight of the week is gonna go out to me. I made this one. I'm being biased. It's not coming out to me, obviously. It's coming out to my boy Jackson Dart, baby. Because Jackson Dart in the preseason dropped the absolute dime under pressure, under duress, under stress. Threading the needle and right into the breadbasket of Jordan Humphrey for his first NFL preseason touchdown against the Buffalo Bills. He got us Giant fans looking hype. Jackson Dart is a recipient. Got a highlight of the week, baby.
Oh, brother, no. We're not doing this. You want to do bias, then I think this week deserves 2 highlight of the weeks because we're going to show a little bias to my team as well. So we got 2 highlights of the week. We're going to go with my team, and we're going to go with Efton Chisholm, who is an undrafted wide receiver who is, Patriots fans are loving what we're seeing from him. And he just got this touchdown here, thrown from Dobbs. The guy just shows why he should be on this team by the end, before the season starts. Look at him run over these guys to get that touchdown. I definitely would love to see him on the roster, not to be picked up on the practice squad. I want to see him on the roster and showing us why he deserves to be on the team. Guys, Efton Chisholm, keep an eye out for him.
All right. I can let that slide. I let my bias come on the side. I was like, Jackson don't be highlight of the week. So, all right, we'll let that slide. But guys, we want to thank you so much. Remember, guys, this is our new start day. Start time still the same, 5 p.m. We're locked in now every Wednesdays, guys, because we want to give y'all the best full coverage that we can for the NFL season. But, guys, let us know in the comments below on, who you got, Oh, I forgot. We didn't even do this. We ain't wrapping up the show. Brother, we got to make it now. Everyone does it. We need this on record right now. Early Super Bowl predictions. Right now, my early Super Bowl prediction will be the Detroit Lions versus the Buffalo Bills. I think both teams make it over the hump. They both make the Super Bowl.
Okay. I'm going to go with Kansas City and the Lions.
Ooh. I'm not mad at either one. I would rather see the Bills, but I'm not mad at either one. But, guys, you let us know in the comments below what's your early Super Bowl prediction. What's your favorite team? Let us know what's your favorite team. Let us know what your real predictions are. Real predictions, not out the window, but real predictions that you have for your favorite team. Let us know as we're going to be covering the NFL season throughout Season 2 here, the Ozone. Let us know what you think about the new theme song, the new look. Let Super Producer Dave know. If you love it, give him the flowers. If you don't, who cares? We don't care. We like it. But guys, remember that we are available on all social media platforms. We are available on Twitter. We are available on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Reddit. Yes, your boy came prepared for Season 2, baby. We're available on all that stuff. We're going to be having some fire content coming out on those platforms, so it's very important that you follow us there. And guys, like I said,
having guests. We will be having guests this season.
And we will be having a lot of guests this season, especially with the NFL. We know NFL is king in this country, man, and we're so excited to be covering the NFL here on the Ozone for Season 2. But guys, it's been a pleasure, and we see you guys next Wednesday. Enjoy Week 1 of the NFL season, baby, because this is the one and only time that everybody, no matter who you root for, can be optimistic about their team. Enjoy Week 1. Have a safe Week 1, and we see you guys next week here on the Ozone. Peace.
To the streets, uptown blackout, Season 2, Ozone, NY Heat, no doubt. This is the Ozone, Season 2, New York, forever drills, catch the vibe.